it's a local community in which the president of the festival is not independent. He's not independent from the country and from those who gave him legitimacy to be a president of the festival. So when he thinks about, because they have many movies, when he thinks to make sure that selections will be good, but without problems, he rather goes without movie about Peter Handke. So then we come to this kind of unifying element, which is not just world, better world, and for any price what we had in the 70s, when the world was thirsty for the films that were just speaking about the vital human problems. And Handke was speaking about vital human problems even in Serbia, which was bombed severely by Americans and their followers, and the civilians killed, and all what they are praying around the world that they want to preserve. Apparently, and he was a witness of this. As a witness of this, he was not very much likely to be present over there.
Yeah. I think he's right because of his stand against NATO when the Belgrade was bombed. Some people didn't like him. Maybe on a festival, didn't like that, and they left him out. But it happens with festivals. For example, in Cannes, they didn't accept this year the Woody Allen film because they thought of the previous story with the court where he was announced as not guilty, but still the director was afraid to have the film, but Venice accepted it. So Handke, the festival accepted, but the Nobel gave him the prize. It's how somebody looks at either a film or a person. If they don't like for certain reasons, they say no, but then there is another institution which says, okay, you are with us.
Oh, okay, I have one more question. It's a rhetorical question, and a little funny question, but I want to do it. If Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos called you and give you money to do whatever film you
I will tell them, fuck off. I'm the fuck off man. There's no way that, but let me tell you, my career was restarted and put into the skyrocket when Bouygues, who was a very wealthy and very rich construction builder in France, sent Pierre Edelman, one of his employees, to come to New York, and he said, Emir, I'm sent by Mr. Bouygues, Francis Bouygues, and he is telling you, you just write on the check how much money you need to make your next movie. And I was just joking, and I said, in 1992, I said, you know, I want to make a movie which is going to be $15 million. He said, $15 million. I came back to France, and we signed a contract on $12 million. And I was one of the 5 directors who were winning in Cannes from 93 to 97. I was in between Jane Campion, Abbas Kiarostami, Mike Lee, David Lynch. So the guy decided to be Mecena. He was, and this is how the life goes in the good period, when the humanity is in good condition, which was the end of the century. He came to Cannes to buy a hotel, and he didn't buy a hotel. He went to see one of the David Lynch movies, and he said, oh, this is so beautiful world, I want to participate in this. And then he spent money, and why this is very important, this will be part of good literature. He died afterwards because he was quite old, and then his son came on power. And this was a period when the telecom system started creating huge money on the mobile telephones. And he cut father's idea and instead investing into the movies, which is always very hazardous, he went to the phone business. And like this, you know, I was lucky. I was going through one man was Mecena. So, back to the question. For the political reason, I wouldn't go with Bill Gates. Because Bill Gates is a devil. Whatever he does for his own sake, and he does it to follow people and to be policing them. He doesn't improve human life by giving people possibility to have social networks. What is social network? It's like boosting human narcissism to speak about yourself, not about what is the vital problem. Number one. Number two, on social network there is one good thing which was never used so far because always CIA used it. It was using people to organize Arab Spring, and you come to Egypt afterwards, and they say, "Did it help?" Never helped. It helped them. These are philanthropists who work against people, and that's why I wouldn't go for whatever money he writes down. I'm very angry.
Just a question for me. My name is Nikos. I'm very honored to see you. I think all of us are very honored. But we mentioned already the question of war. And in my opinion, there is a Russophobic aspect in this war at the moment. And I know very well that in Serbia, your language has Slavic roots, origins. I know very well that. So I'd like to know if in Serbia right now, are you affected somehow, aesthetically speaking, if the local population is feeling the threat because of this kind of situation, which in the West, for me, even in Greece, was terrible. We have this cancel culture, let's say. I mean, musicians from Bolshoi, they came here, they were cancelled, you cannot do this, maybe you're not allowed to read Dostoevsky again. So we have this exaggeration in our days, even in many Western countries. But my second question, this is a political one, if you like, but aesthetically speaking, which is interesting for me. Secondly, I remember your films from underground and so on, and I would like to know, because by then the world was completely different. It was Yugoslavia. All we know what happened in Yugoslavia. And sometimes for me, when I make questions, they say, "Oh, I'm against